welcome to Atalanta. That's right, folks. We have secured a job with mid-table Atalanta in the Serie A. In Italy, it's going to be interesting to see how we go. So just a quick snapshot here of their profile. Obviously a Serie A club. They have secure finances, founded in 1907, and a national reputation of 3.5 stars, slightly, probably about a half star more than the Phoenix. Media prediction is 10th finish. Excellent youth facilities and excellent training facilities. Very determined squad personality, professional club, and the owner loves the club. Well, that's all right. And there's a few rivalries there and derbies, including the two Milan clubs, historic rivals. We've won a few in their history: 5 Serie Bs, 1 Coppa Italiana, and 1 Serie A. And according to the introduction, the most prestigious time for them was the 1980s. Their stadium, well, I won't even try and pronounce that, but yeah, it's a 24,700 council-owned stadium built in 1928, but good facilities. So yeah, just over 4 million euros in the bank. We did have some injection of money just not recently for the TV rights for the upcoming season. It is the 1st of July. I have gone ahead. When I took over the club, it was the 18th of June. So I've gone ahead, let all the old end of season stuff go. There's been a few players who've come back on loan, a few players who we've retained on loan, and those also some that we've said, nah, you're not coming back. And we've released a few players as well in terms of just retirees. But in terms of actual transfers, I've done nothing yet. We are going to see the squad today live. Interesting. I've seen a couple of players, but that's about it. So the transfer budget is 258,000 euros. Wage budget of 988,000. So we, okay. But, you know, it is what it is. I am happy in terms of the fact that the club has got a good youth team and youth facilities. Let's have a quick look here now at I'm just going to give you a quick look at the staff. Staffing to me is quite important. I take a while when I start a new club with the staff. In the negotiations, I got some staff gone. I brought in a couple of staff from the Phoenix, like only a couple of scouts really, just to fill the gap that they had. But I am looking for roles. I've got adverts out for the missing roles that we have, which is a lot of physios and data analysts and things like that. I've also got a ad out for the assistant manager to see if we have a better one out there that we may be able to replace. And I'm missing some coaches, so I have brought in 2 coaches since I started, and looking for another couple there, and yeah, pretty much. But as you can see, there's a lot of room for improvement here. We're the lowest average along most of the things. We only just got the best for goalkeeping, handling, and goalkeeper distribution. So there's going to be work to make there. But that's all part and fun of the games. Let's have a look at the dynamics now. So overall, we've got a good match cohesion. Dressing room atmosphere is poor because they had a bad run towards the end of the season. And managerial support, well, early days, so they're not really convinced to get my lack of experience, apparently. Okay, but the thing is, yeah, this is Italy. Yeah, so top influences there, Gianluca and Martin. So that's a couple of big influences there. A few unhappy people, a few issues. Couple of these have all been happened in the season before. So this guy, a couple of players publicly were unhappy because of the club's future plans. They weren't considered. Some concerns there about their first team roles. 2 other ones unhappy. Again with the future plans, another concern, wants to join a bigger club. We'll see if we can turn around all that anyway. We'll just look at the hierarchy here for you guys. As you can expect, there is 4 players. I got no support. 4 players already oppose me. Worryingly, 1 is the captain, and I believe it's probably because he's been a lot of people have come in for him. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, we'll have to work on that, won't we? Social groups, we've got 3 main social groups there. Most of them are in the core social group and only a couple in the secondary social group B. Overall happiness, well, you know, it is what it is. Pretty much satisfied, fairly okay. The tactics, I will be just doing the same old tactic. Basically, I'm going to be bringing over the Phoenix capped tactic and adjusting it as I need and see fit. This shadow striker role probably won't exist. It'll probably be more of a, you know, maybe a straight up and out striker. We will see, and I've brought in, of course, the wall as well. Let's go into the squad now and have a look at some of the players. So we had 6 players on loan to us, and I decided to renegotiate and get 3 of them back in. They're all being paid to come back. Well, we have to pay their wages, but that's okay. Now, we'll just look at here. Alexandre, apologies in advance for butchering some of these names. McKay, so he's a 30-year-old goalkeeper. He's on loan from Juventus for us. Pretty good stats, really. He's still, even physically, he's not too bad still at 30. He's on season loan for us, so we have him for the whole season, and he's got some good goalkeeping stats there. The next goalkeeper, Marco. Now he's a 23-year-old, 24 now. He's got some good stats. I just think at 24 he may be too young to take on the responsibility of first team, but he will get some game time probably. I am concerned with his pace and acceleration. He's not going to help get off the mark very fast, so that may very well hinder his progress, especially because his positioning is not the best, and it's so that with low pace, I don't know. He is concerned about his future. And then we have Ludovico Gobbi, another goalkeeper here, 23-year-old. Again, not the best, maybe a good third choice. Communication needs to be worked on, but his, again, pace is not the best. However, some of his other physicals aren't too bad. This guy is usually pretty good at making decisions, though, and anticipation, a bit of bravery, and he's got a bit more positioning about him. We will see if he gets a game at all. So that's my 3 goalkeepers. I haven't really looked at the rules in the Serie A yet. I don't really know if there's any restrictions in terms of the bench. I do know that we can only have 2 non-EU players in the squad. So that's going to be interesting, to say the least. We then go to our right backs. Wow, okay, we'll go to our defenders next. So on the right here we have Michael. He's a defender right from for us. He's on he's just come back from loan, to be honest. He was out on loan the last season anyway, so he, at 21 years old, I don't see a future for him at this club. Physically, yeah, he's got some good stats there. Determination and bravery, well, determination's fairly high, that may help him. But with marking at 9, tackling a 9 at this age, I don't know. I will probably give him a season, and we'll see how he goes, if he makes any progression. The coaching summary is that he's not too far off first team level, an exciting young prospect. Okay. We then have Mattia, and this guy is another player who is, well, his contract has expired, so we may be able to release him cheaply. Physically, he's pretty good as well. Some of the mentals I'm impressed with. Good positioning, good teamwork, rate, determination, bravery, and composure will help. Decent heading and tackling at 12 and 12. So I will probably look at offering him another contract. He's only 21, so I'll probably give him a couple of years, maybe 3 seasons, to see how he goes. But yeah, that is what we have there. Remembering I have not made any substitutions at this stage. I've not made any changes or transfers. Next is Gennaro. Again, he is a 22-year-old defensive centre. Love those physicals. Some of his mentals are pretty good too. Decision making and determination. Brave is pretty good there, and positioning will help out. Good heading and good tackling, I think, at this stage for his age to work on, and a good decent 12 for marking. So that'll be another one we will be looking at as well. And then we're going to go to Luca Maggiorino. He's a ring back, okay, so he can play as a fullback as well. Pretty happy, pretty impressed with this. Good stats, good physicals. Mentals are pretty good all over across the board. Good averages there. And his technicals as well. Tackling 12, marking 12, passing 12. I'm looking at him as my first choice. Pretty happy with that at 22-year-old. And I think he could still improve as well. So we're going to go to Filipe now. Lionheart, this guy's had a lot of offers coming in for him at the moment, and it's been a pain in the pukeko. I've been rejecting them all. He is a defender and also defensive midfielder, 27-year-old. I don't usually play defensive midfield, so he would be mostly a full centre back. Good, fantastic physicals. I mean, that pace at 16. Awesome, and he's got good teamwork, positioning as well. Add on to that all the other mentals, heading, marking, and tackling. So definitely number one, definitely the one I want to keep. Contracted for another 2 years, so I may look at offering him a contract just to give him another year and maybe an extension we can utilise moving forward. Pete is next one. Pete Bidjan. Interesting photos there. Okay, so he's another central defender, another one with fantastic. I mean, look at that green. Oh my goodness, there's more green there than at the traffic lights, and I'll tell you that is looking fantastic. They're all fairly averages though. There's a lot of in the physicals. There's some good numbers there. Positioning is 14, work rate's 15. Everything else is around 12, 11 to 13, which is good. Heading a 13, marking 13, tackling a 13. Good to start with as well. We may look at just, his passing, but he'll be mostly likely to hoof it. So you're pretty much Pete and Filipe will be my number one central defenders at this stage. Remember, I haven't gone through and seen all these players. Ignacio, he is a defensive midfield center, 34-year-old. This will be his last season, I would say. Looking at those physicals alone, he's got nothing about him really. I mean, the fact that he can still stand on 2 feet with his balance of 12. Mentally, though, he still holds a lot, and that is a good thing there. Good work rate, teamwork, positioning, leadership, concentration, bravery, anticipation. A lot of those stats are good, and he can still tackle. Decent technique, marking is good there, good average for passing, and heading as well. So he can play in that central midfield role, and I may look at him there, and just to hold the ball, not to do any running. So I may look at that the anchor man, but I may look at just having him in a position where he can just sit there in the hole and direct play from my midfield up and through to the forwards or to the wingers. We shall see, especially because he's got that great teamwork stat there. Next one is Nicola. Okay, so this is a 29-year-old left back. Again, physically fantastic, good pace, and mentally really good attributes there. And in skills as well as technicals, a marking of 14, good passing and good tackling. So again, I'm pretty blessed, played well, and he plays as a fullback there on the left as well as a wing back. Now the second loanee here we have Diego. He is on loan from Villarreal with us. Defender left. Defender can play right as well, and a wing back left. Again, he is good physically. I like his stats there, and his mental stats are really impressive to begin with for a 21-year-old, and he gets the job done technically for me, marking and tackling. Room to improve? Yeah, there is. He's only young, but I think he's fairly well rounded already, and he will probably get a lot of game time there as well, mainly coming off the bench, I feel, but he may even just adapt into that right role. Fabio Consolo now, he is a 22-year-old attacking midfielder on the right there. Again, we're looking at probably 4-4-2 standard, maybe up in the wings, so don't know how much of that he will get, but he is adaptable and can play as a midfielder right. Really good physicals. Again, this team so far, some good physical stats. Pacey as a Usain Bolt. Can cross the ball, can fairly dribble, and as well a pass as well. So, and some of those mentals standing out there too. Good decision making. He's going to be determined, which will help as well. I'm not too fussed about Flair, but Flair could come in handy, and good work rate. Not bad at all. Not bad at all for Fabio. Next one is last of our loanies that we brought back in, Edvard. So he's with us from Liverpool. He's a defensive midfielder, attacking midfielder centre from Liverpool, 23-year-old. And, yeah, I'm not too bad about either as well. I mean, good physicals there. Not strong, which could come into it, but he's only 23, so we can probably work on getting that up. Mentally, really good attributes there, very good and composed as well, and good decision makings as well as vision, good work rate and teamwork. So I think he would be a really good playmaking role. First touch is really good as well, so that's going to help when he gets those big balls from the defenders. Passing is really good, and he's got a good technique as well, so he will definitely be in the squad. Whether he's a starter as well, I don't know. Now, Martin, this is the existing captain, and I'm pretty happy with him to remain as captain. You'll see why. Look at all those greens. Mentally and physically, he's got pretty much anything and everything there. He is 33, so this may be his last season. He's a defensive midfield centre. Again, we'll probably play him in that middle role. And he can tackle as well. Marking 11. Could be better, but still, I'm pretty happy with that. Good, decent first touch about him, and his passing ability should help as well to get the balls through where they need to go. Then we look at Emmanuel. This guy is a 24-year-old central midfielder or defensive midfielder again. Potentially can play the wide roles as well, so we could look at him, but this guy has... well, his contract's out 2 years, 24 years old, fairly decent physicals, but doesn't really have much in the way of balance, but he has good pace, he's got a good strength about him and stamina, so that should help. His acceleration will help as well. Very good decision-making attributes with determination, vision and work rate, not too bad, and positioning's pretty average as well. In terms of his technicals, well, good first touch. I think passing's average, but just above average, which is good. I mean, some of these players would walk into the Phoenix team. Tackling is 12. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not sure where he will fit in or how often he will fit in. Probably more as an injury cover and more of a under-20s regular player, I believe. So Remo is a 32-year-old defensive midfield, attacking midfield centre, can pretty much go everywhere. At 33, he's probably looking at 32, maybe 2 years to go. It depends on how badly his stats drop. Again, across the board, a lot of greens. I'm happy with what I see. And the highlights, really, a good first touch, good passing. So again, it's going to be a lot of decisions. Perhaps he can play in that shadow striker role, because he can dribble the ball a fair bit, and he's got a decent pace. Isn't the best, but he can dribble. And that first touch with good vision and decent flair about him, so he can possibly, I could try and look at it, if we put him up here to that shadow striker role, it could very well work in our favour. If I just select those, it pretty much does, apart from finishing, which is something we can work on. But again, I think it's more about getting into these positions and causing trouble for the defence, and then hopefully with that passing, playing on his teammate. We shall see what Remo has to offer. Next one is Gene. So Gene is 22-year-old. He is a defender, central as well. Slow. I mean, he's determined, and he's got a good whack of vision about him, and he can pass the ball, and he's got decent technique. Not much more to write home about. Definitely an under 20s, and we possibly put him out on loan, though I may very well look at. I'm actually going to look at getting him on. Let's put him on the. We'll probably look at getting rid of him. I just don't see it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go transfer status. He's a backup. Transfer listed. He's not available for loan. I'll leave that as available for loan. Okay, so we'll confirm that. And we're going to offer him to clubs as a transfer for and confirm. We'll offer him to some clubs as well. I just don't see him having the future that having a future there. And what we'll do while we got him here, let's chuck him into the under 20s. So now we go to Dijon. This guy, I signed a contract with him. Pretty much came not long after I started. Looked at the stats. Yep, not too bad. We'll contract him. He only wanted an extra year, so I did. And he didn't want too much. So again, we're talking 24-year-old midfield centre, and he can play on the left, can drop a bit deeper, can kind of play on the right a little bit as well. I mean, you look at those physicals, fantastic. This guy's going to be as pacey as anything, and he can dribble that ball. He's got a good first touch, and he can pass it as well. And with decent vision about him, good decision making and composure. So this guy is going to be selecting my first team is going to be tough. Yeah, I may look at playing him on the left. We'll see how we go when we get to there. But for our options in the middle, we are looking very, very well. We've got a good whack to deal with. Now we're going to go to Carlo here. He is a 22-year-old attacking midfielder centre. They say he's surplus requirements. He's got some good physicals about him. It's hard to say. At 22, he may develop a little bit. I probably won't pull trigger on him yet. They do potential ability as 4 stars, currently at 2. So he may be worth keeping around. He's got another season. Well, this is his 1 season on his contract. So we may keep him around, develop him, see what comes of him. Most likely an under 20s player. And I guess maybe potentially on loan as well. We shall see. Okay, so we're going to Daniel now. So Daniel is a 23-year-old Ghanese. He's taking up one of our non-EU spots here. Important player and still could improve is the judgment from the coaching staff. Attacking midfielder right and a striker. As a winger or attacking midfielder, he can play right midfield as well. He's got a good pace about him and acceleration that certainly will help. He can cross and he can dribble the ball. Good first touch, good technique. Yeah, it may be enough to get him by as a number 2, a backup. Looking at our midfield right, attacking midfield rights, we are low. Just as a right midfielder as well, he's probably looking at 3rd choice, but some of those guys are in the centre. So, I won't be pulling trigger just yet, but I will probably look at him. He's still another one with a year to go. Maybe look at see how he goes. Maybe loan list him as well. Unless, I mean, the thing is, he's taking over a non-EU spot, so if I can get somebody better in, I most likely will, and he'll be offloaded. Gianluca, again, this guy is a striker. He's a 32-year-old, so there's a few oldies in this team. This will probably be his last season, I'd say. Physically, he's still holding up okay, and mentally, he's got a lot of great attributes. Technically, he can still, his finishing is still really good, accompanied with a decent, still decent technique, and those mental abilities off the ball is very high. So and his work rate, so he's more likely to, hopefully get into those situations to look for, the pass, and then hopefully be a lethal weapon up front, getting in some goals. Let's just have a quick nosy at how he did last season. So for last season, okay, so this is disappointing. 33 appearances, 4 goals. Season before, 33 for 9, 36, 11. So he really hasn't been consistent in terms of goal scoring. So we may have to look at that. So comes Alexandre Rossi, comes with us. A name some people may be familiar with. It is the Lazio player. Obviously, a few years later now, we are looking at a 27-year-old version of him. However, still fairly impressive, decent paces, good mentals, and his technical abilities there. Let's just have a quick squiz of how he went last season. Again, not very potent in front of goal, from 8 goals from 33 appearances. So there's something we need to look at. It may very well have been the tactics employed. I would like to have seen more from him. Even at 13, I think that's enough with his mentals and his physicals to get through. But his positioning may very well be the determining factor there that really does hinder him getting some more goals, to be honest. We shall see. He may work as a shadow striker. That might be the way we go. We'll try it out. Actually, just before I forget, let's put him as the shadow striker, shall we? And just in my tactic already. Cristian Capone. This guy's a 25-year-old striker again, but can play as the attacking midfielder on the throughout. So that's handy dandy mandy. Really quick fella. Really, I mean, at 25, so yep, and a good agility, good acceleration as well. He can finish fairly well, and he's a determined little bugger too. So this could come in handy. Be very good to see how he goes this season. Maybe a number 3 there as the striker. We're going to have a look at Stephano now. So Stephano Gobbi, Gobbi. He is a 21-year-old striker. He has a contract that has expired. Average? Really? Yeah. They say exciting project not far from first team. I'll probably put him in 20s and see how he goes. I don't think he's up. Well, he's not up to the level, in my opinion, for Serie A. Maybe in some of the cup matches and things like that, we'll give him a bit of a go. Might put him out on loan. We have looked now at Dahveed. Okay, so 20-year-old striker. Very impressive. 16 for finishing. Good first touch. Good free kick taking. Technique's not bad. Mentally, good determination. That stands out with his teamwork. And physically, he's got some pace about him as well. Rated as our 3rd choice there too. Very good. So he would probably be a bench player. Yes, I like the look of Dahveed. And now we go to Alexandro. Okay, so this guy is 19-year-old, again a striker. Good physicals and some good mentals there. Determination, which will help, I think, in his progression. Good off the ball. Fairly good in anticipation as well. And a really good finishing with a good header. So probably a good target man potential as well. But he's only 5'9", so I'll probably take away what I just said. Again, probably under 20s and substitute bench, but one to probably play in some of those cup matches. Eugenio. Again, he's a 19-year-old striker. Slow, but he can finish. He's got 17 for finishing, 15 for free kicks, 14 for first touch. He's determined as well, and his anticipation really stands out there. Off the ball's not too bad as well. So there's some 3 good strikers there. I'm pretty happy with there, guys. So I think that is pretty much the squad. All right, folks, it's been a long episode again. The next episode will be out on Friday. I'm hoping it goes well and is received well. It's going to be a press conference special, so keep an eye out for that. And then we will be getting stuck into the regular season, the episode after that. So I am for this coming week again, just 2 episodes this week, and hopefully by the following week I will look at bringing it back to 3 times a week, just to help track through. We will see how we go there. But always, I want to thank you guys. It's really good to be back playing FM and doing this sort of thing again. I have missed it for the last month because I had pre-recorded, obviously, for reasons everyone knew about with the moving and all the changes and stuff. So I am excited to be caught up and keeping up, really. I don't plan on getting too far ahead of this current save. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me know what you think. Atalanta in this Serie A. Can we bring some success to this club? I'm quite surprised, impressed with some of the quality we've got there. There's some old guys who are going to need replacing moving forward. I haven't even looked into my youth, my under 20s or 18s, so who knows? I'm still rebuilding the staff, and yeah, I will probably be looking to bring in, off the top of my head, a right back at least, and maybe a couple of wingers as well. And I am in the search for a goalkeeper, so we can kind of not have to rely on a lone goalkeeper as our first choice. All right, folks, I am Parkera. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you, especially my subscribers, for their ongoing support. And it's really good to have it. This will be in closing my first year as a YouTuber. However, I did look yesterday, and I did not start this save until the 10th of February of this year. I did not buy FM18 until February the 10th of this year, which is weird. I thought it was like before Christmas, so I haven't even been going that long. Anyway, folks, hit me down below with your comments. As always, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. And if you are planning on getting FM19, what are you looking forward to? What are your thoughts? Are you doing a save? Have you got things planned? Me, myself, and I still don't know. I did chuck out a little tweet and a poll. Got some good feedback there, which is probably something I am going to look at doing. But I'm looking at FM19 should I have time, and well, I'm hoping I do. Pick up 2 series. One will be I like the journeyman. I like how that goes. So yeah, and I'm also looking in the future. I don't know when. I'm going to be playing around and hopefully like doing some streams, probably on YouTube. Not all the time, but just to try and get into it a little bit, maybe for specials and things like that. All right, folks. I am Parkera. I've jabbered enough. Welcome to Atalanta, folks. See you later, alligator, and don't forget your toilet paper.